Okay, guys, today we're talking about tuning in. So I'm just going to walk you right through what I do when I establish communion with the heart. Now, it doesn't have to be precisely this way for you. Find your own way. Use your own elements. What comes to you to employ, to honor, to respect. Be with that. Each of us has a path that's very unique, individual. Yet all of us are walking the same path together, so there's great similarities. So that's what you look for here as we go through this process of tuning into the universal heart inside of ourselves as well as the rest of this extended reality. That's what we go through. Honoring, bringing in the energies that help us. Okay, so let's just do this. You ready? So you want to be sitting or lying quietly. Lying down works good after you get used to it, but you will fall asleep some and then have to come back and, you'll go back and forth. Sitting up sometimes is a little easier to stay awake and keep yourself present in the reality in which we live, okay? That's where we're going right now. So hang on and let's tune in with old Grandpa here. So first I close my eyes in a sitting position. I have my hands open like this and sitting in the lap of my legs there, facing upward. You can put them alongside of you. You can sit cross-legged, however you wish, whatever is comfortable for you. That's the important thing, that you be comfortable and as relaxed as you can possibly be going into this space, okay? So you close your eyes, you have your palms in your hand. And then this is what I do. And again, it's very personal for you. You do what comes to you. But I honor the spirit power of the South. And well, first thing, always, is I surround myself consciously with a loving protection inside and out. I do this with my eyes closed. It's like an incantation, or look at it as a prayer if you will. But I always surround myself and fill myself with this bubble of protective, loving energy, that no harmful or derogatory energy can interfere with the process in which I'm about to engage. And that everybody be happy. If anyone casts negativity at me, they get happiness in response. The negativity is neutralized by that happiness and the great love inside of it that creates the happiness. So that's what I first do, is surround myself with this loving shield of energy. It's made of rainbow energy if you can see it. If not, don't worry about it. Just visualize it in your mind. Just create it in your imagination, because that's real enough. And it'll work. Then I choose to honor the powers of the South, the West, the North, and the East. Oftentimes I'll face these directions as I'm calling them in. And then the sky, the power of the sky, and the power of the earth. And as I do this, I see these powers, which are spiritual energies, converging inside of me. And I become one inside of that. It's the union of all energies. It's the power to be. It's the magnetism and the creative energy by which life comes forward. So I always honor all of these powers and thank them for being within. Then I honor the angels and our ancestors who are with us always, and the enlightened beings of the brotherhood of the heart, the universal heart, inside of us all. And you notice this always triangulates inside. If you're looking at the screen in the middle of your forehead, if you're feeling your upturned hands, you're going to feel triangulation, energies that triangulate, and so forth. Then I honor all the beings, energies, and powers that love and assist us, all those that are so loving as to be an assistance, which would include the star family and every other being, presence, and power that may be there with us. And there's many of them, and you can often feel them and see them when you're in this state and you make that little quiet statement inside of yourself. By the way, all of these are silent incantations, sayings that I use inside of myself. It's rare that I ever speak them out loud. Then, of course, the honoring of Great Spirit inside us all, which is the heart, which is the love by which all is creating and created. It's the one heart, the universal heart, which spreads itself thin throughout this existence, that its richness might be realized as it consciously recollects itself together again. Now as you sit here in this state quietly, after you've made these thank yous, which really are calling in all the powers and presences to come and be with you and commune with you in the heart. This was taught me by spirits, by the way. The same as they will teach you your own little incantation, regimentation, whatever you wish to call it, regime, routine. But it's something, after a while, it isn't necessary, yet you do it, just out of the honoring of the energies that work with you, the beings. It's a pretty fantastic operation we've got going here. And being in this quiet space, you begin to realize this. And that energy, that awareness will come forward. What you see here, your eyes will be greatly open just because you can sit quietly here for a moment. Now sometimes when after you've done your little call-ins, your honorings, and you're sitting there quiet, and you're feeling the energies in your hands and your forehead and the rest of your being, sometimes the mind will tend to want to race, It worries a lot and so forth. Or it'll come up with suggestions, bad suggestions, trying to create fear and mayhem inside. But because you're in such a pleasant state of being in that moment and so centered, you can see these energies, even these voices, if you hear them that way, working inside of you, and you can be, collectively calm about it, and you don't have to empower such suggestions inside of yourself. Oftentimes, you'll feel the pain behind the suggestions as you step away from them inside. Just let them flow by. Don't be a part of that word, that energy that flows through you in that way. Yet honor it, respect it as a living part of yourself, of your being and presence, just not an acceptable way of being at the moment. That doesn't mean you won't pay attention when there's something creative and good that comes out of that you can employ somewhere else. In this way, by honoring that energy inside that is so concerned that it would pull you down into a pit of darkness rather than see you destroyed by your own humility. If you can honor that part, then you've honored all parts of yourself. You've found some respect inside for every energy, even those that you consider very distasteful. And because of this, you'll find they work more uniformly now, though resistance there may be for some time, until the need for that resistance, which is really a compelling energy to drive you forward, when that's no longer necessary, that'll no longer be there in that way. Everything changes. And as you extend respect and love into all of this life extends its respect and love into you. For you are the same energy, the same life, yet uniquely and individually and beautifully, I might add, performed. So you are deserving of all the blessings of the universe. And these flow into you now despite whatever agony or problem or other suggestion might be on your mind. These blessings flow into you now because you are indeed deserving, no matter what, no matter where you've been, who you've done or how you've done it. It doesn't really matter at this stage of the game. You're in the state called universal harmony. You're beginning to reconnect with all the essential energies in life. And many of these blessings that come to you will help you through these moments. Expect there will be some trauma arise, for there's been tragedy in every life and we're marked by that. But this little simple communion with the heart in this way causes you to become aware of energies within yourself that have been active below the surface of the conscious mind. But because the conscious heart is now arising within you and you feel this energy coming up through and into the conscious mind, then what has been subconscious before this time now can be much more visible. For we find ourselves moving into a state of union, of divine harmony, where all energies, all thought energies, all physical energies, all spiritual energies, which seem divided away from us, actually commune, join together, and now work together in this universal harmony. And this journey that we've undertaken inside of ourselves and in this life living is to see that harmony in the most chaotic of conditions, under the most trying and stressful conditions, as well as the far more pleasant ones. We're here to know what it is to feel separate and alone, and the fulfillment in a joining that brings us all back together again. To really truthfully appreciate the cosmic nature of divine harmony, because we live in that cosmic nature, and it's no longer something we see as separate or apart from ourselves, but as not only as living within us, but all about us. And we begin to see the magic spectacle in life, the beauty, the truth, the wonder in the most vicious of lies, the heart in the most heinous of things. And because we can see this, we have endured this, and now bring it to this time of purification within ourselves, where all things are forgiven and forgotten, because we understand the dark nature of our being as well as that which is light. And when we see that in pain, agony is given forward. And as we release this pain, let go of the trauma, agony is no more. So the agony that has come to you through this trauma is a part of your reception and brilliance, for you knew you could take this energy and cause it to become something other than what it appeared to be, what it's lived inside of you as. And by this very suggestion, you change it now. For you see this cosmic part of yourself in union with the divine harmony in all that is inside of you. The center of your chest glowing now. The fires of love spreading throughout the presence of your being, purifying all that we have held against ourselves, and all the weaknesses and inequities we have allowed within the presence of our person. Feeling our impurities then, we release them now and find them to be pure. Find the cosmic heart within, correcting all that is unnatural and unbecoming to us, including sickness, illness, disease, and the tendency to create accidents that are harmful to ourselves and others. We let go our clumsiness, our klutziness, and find a certain grace in the presence of our being now that we weren't necessarily aware of before, but now can humbly appreciate and accept and acknowledge as a very real part of ourselves. And in this way do we then begin this journey into the cosmic nature of the life which we have formed within the presence of this person we call a human being, and by a certain name it is given, that we come to know this presence personally, in its flesh and bone, as well as that which is cosmically creating it and experiencing it. In this divine state of harmony, we find there is no separation. The more we collect and gather together in this way, inside of ourselves first and foremost, and then with one another, and in ever larger groups. The more we do of this, the more we realize the divine nature of our love and how all of this is given in that divine nature of love. And therefore none can be held accountable, but all are released from the trauma, the terrible guilt, and the shame they have felt. For each has failed in some way, and all in themselves a failure may be, whether they know it or not. And in that failure the greatest of success. For we have found our harmony inside a presence of our being here in physical person, and now can proceed forward into the universal dynamic of love as the personal, loving person that we are, in this divine presence which creates and employs us in this experiential way. So now you will begin your journey on your own personal path. Remain in this state as long as you possibly can. Journey where the heart is willing to take you. Release from yourself anything that restricts you as you become conscious of it. See the source in those experiences and let go. For now you see the experience far differently and are able to see divine purpose fulfilled in all manner of things. In this way are you learning to bless all of life, that you arise within it unrestricted, unrestrained, and therefore are able to experience the universal harmony in all by being present consciously within that. That's where we're headed. Stay in this state now. I release you to the presence of being you know as yourself, and the beings and powers that assist in that. You're stepping forward now into the presence of true self, divine consciousness. Notice that you are willing to see. Carry on in this great love. Thank you.